It's halfway through 2026, and I did just make some small changes to my home workout template. Yes, you could do this in a gym, but it is my home workout template. And I wanted to cover here what it would look like if you did it with my resistance bands build. I just did a video on my dumbbells and body weight. If you want to check that out, I'll put it in the description. But here is what my resistance bands home gym setup looks like with the updated template. So starting off with day number 1, which is normally a Monday for me, we are going to start with the body weight squat just to warm up. Again, just like 10 reps of body weight squat, get the tempo and the body ready and warmed up before jumping into exercise number 1. And that starting exercise is going to be the squat movement pattern. For me, I like to do heel raise squats. I actually bought squat wedges that I put on the board for this and a bar to make it a bit easier. So for me, I really like this version in order to hit the quads well in my home gym. Next up, I'm actually going to sit on the floor and do a rowing movement. So for me, it would be seated rows. Feel free to do this with the bar or with the handles. I've been kind of going over to the bar lately, but the handles work just fine if you want to go that route. The goal is to try and hit the upper mid back. Just note that the more your elbows are towards your waist or midline of your body, the more lat involvement is in the movement. The third exercise is listed as the chest press. I used to have line chest presses here, but I really hate getting into that position. So I am going to do something that I kind of went away with in the past, and that was the push-up is coming back. However, I'm still not a fan of banded push-ups, as the bands going across your palms is always really uncomfortable. So I'm going to look out for other ways where I can do it, where I can have like the band across my palm, but not touching it. Maybe there's some kind of thing I can kind of have on the ground, maybe even like push-up bars or handles that allow me to do this. But I'm looking into that option. But just know I'm putting normal body weight push-ups here, just keeping them nice, slow, and controlled to try and work the chest with some additional secondary tricep involvement. Exercise number 4 is the lateral raise. I do this standing on the board, and I do shift the board to face vertically, as this just gives a little bit more, or it reduces the tension just enough that allows me to actually be able to do the lateral raise. This is very hard even with the smallest band I have for serious steel, so just know this exercise might humble you. You might even just have to stand on it in order to actually perform this exercise at all. If you can't even do 1 rep, just go as high as you can and just hold it for as long as possible, as that is still the same effect as going to momentary muscle failure as long as you push it to that point. And the final exercise is the calf raise. I like to do this with my head up against a wall for some additional balance. You don't have to. I've also recently put the squat wedges into this one as well, allowing me a little bit more range of motion in the movement. So that is it for all of day number 1. Jumping and looking at day number 2, this is our first optional cardio day, and I'm just going to have you do 10,000 steps throughout the entire day. There's no dedicated session. I personally walk my dogs about twice a day for about 30 minutes at a time, so about an hour walk per day, which gets me a lot of steps, and then the rest of it tend to make up the 10,000 for me. But your lifestyle may be different, but just try and get into 10,000 steps. Yes, you could do something like a 1-mile run or go on like a 3-mile bike or something like that, but I'm going to make it easy. 10,000 steps is all you need. So let's jump into day number 3, which is another resistance training day. And for me, this tends to be a Wednesday in my week. To warm up, we're going to go to standard body weight push-ups. Again, just trying to get the blood flowing, get some of the muscles activating the movement with the chest and shoulders. That way we can jump into our first exercise, which is going to be the kneeling overhead press. Yes, I do this kneeling as I have snapped bands in the past when doing it from my full standing height. I'm 5'11", so again, I've snapped other loop bands when I'm doing it standing. So I do it kneeling now. Maybe you just need to maybe add on a band or two to make it a bit harder depending on the bands you use, but that's why I use it, so I don't have snapped bands on me. And again, the goal is really to focus on the shoulders, doing the pressing movement pattern overhead. Next up, we have the deadlift in the list, and this is going to be the Romanian deadlift for the version that I choose. So the only main difference here is I do keep the legs a bit straighter than a standard deadlift, but you're still doing a hip hinge and trying to hit the posterior glutes and hamstrings in this movement. Yes, you get some lower back as well, but the goal is to really focus on the hamstrings specifically and trying to get into that standing position. Exercise number 3 is one of my recent changes where I had pullover before, but I never really liked doing that with the bands, so I decided to actually put reverse flies as the movement pattern here, which means pull aparts would be what you do using the bands. So for me, I use my J hook handles, put the band in, and I just try and pull apart as hard as I can and do it and just do enough reps until I can't even move it anymore. After that, we have the biceps curl. So standing bicep curls with the loop bands and the bar are always one of the most enjoyable with the resistance bands. highly recommend you have this in your plan, regardless of the one you're using. And the final one I have, and one that works with my bar, are ab rollouts. So again, with the Geku bar I have, this is possible. I just do it with body weight. You probably could add additional weight like in a backpack or something, but feel free to just do it with the body weight or even go from your feet. That makes it really, really hard if you can do that. But the movement is actually pretty small. All you're trying to do is round the spine by contracting the abs. You do not need these you don't need to go as far out and back in as you might see in some videos. It's really, really just a small movement and curvature of the spine by contracting the abs. Now that is it for day number 3. Let's take a look at day number 4, which is another mobility day. And for this, it is optional, but I have sprinting as my chosen thing here. Do you know, if you have not sprinted in a long time, please start very slow. Just go out there, maybe just do a light jog on back and forth, and just really try and build the skill of running. Do not just go out there and just book it across the field. You will probably pull your hamstring trying or trip yourself or whatever. Start slow, build up over time, but try and get back to being able to do a decent sprint across the field. I do them at about 100 meters. I do have a little track near me, so I do about 100-meter sprints. What I do is 50%, 75%, 90%, 100%, and I drop to 75% for the 5th set. So 5 total sets of those kind of efforts for each set before I'm done. Takes less than 10 minutes. So with that, we are on to day number 5, which is a Friday for me in my personal workout routine. And with this, we are going to start with the body weight pull-up. I do recommend you do this assisted, simply just to get the movement pattern down, as the first exercise I have in here is actually the pull down, which is the movement pattern, but with resistance bands, I just went and just did pull-ups again at body weight. So pull-ups for most people are very tough. If you're slowing it down to the rep speed I'm doing, they are very, very hard. So good luck getting all 15 reps even in the first set. You are a monster if you can. But if you're doing 2 or more sets, you're going to start burning out and reaching that momentary muscle failure anyway with just your body weight. Now the next exercise in the list is the chest fly. However, what I'm going to be doing with the bands is the lying chest press. However, we're still going to mimic that fly by trying to bring our hands closer to the midline of the body by using the handles to perform the movement or exercise. So again, not too crazy, but simply a chest press, and you're trying to bring your hands closer to the midline of your body when you're doing it. Moving on, the next exercise is listed as the split squat. However, I do not recommend this with resistance bands, because if you're putting one foot in the middle of the board, unless it's a very well constructed one, the chances of you breaking or snapping the board are actually really high, especially as you increase the band resistance itself. So I like to actually have 2 feet right on it, and I do what's called a suitcase squat instead, simply standing with both feet on the board near the ends so that you don't bend the board and snap it by having all the pressure right in the middle of that board. And please note, with the bamboo boards especially, this is a big concern. Again, you might get away with like a steel board or something, but with these wood boards, there's a good chance when you start getting really strong, you could potentially snap or crack or even break the board. Moving on, we have the tricep extension listed in the plan. And for me, I'm going to be doing kneeling overhead tricep extensions. This one's pretty good. You're just going to single loop it through the bar. And again, you're really fixing your elbows up by your ears and then trying to use your triceps to press your hands as far over your head as possible. So the final exercise for day number 5 is the shrug. I do these as standing shrugs using my resistance bands and the board in order to try and build the traps and upper back a bit. And that would, again, round out all of the resistance training days. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday now completes all the resistance training days in the week. And with that, the final 2 days I have in the plan are mobility days, both optional. But for mobility day number 1, here's how it breaks down. Each of these are going to last 2 minutes, and most will just be holding it for time, or you might be alternating back and forth or whatever based on how it's listed in the plan. But the first exercise in mobility number 1 is the dead hang for 2 minutes. Please take rests as needed. I cannot even hold it for 2 minutes. I need to take rest as well. So do your best and just try and do better each and every time. The second exercise is the toe touch. Feel free to do this from a standing position or a sitting position, or you could even do like 1 minute standing, 1 minute sitting, whatever you want to do. You're just trying to keep your legs straight and touch your toes by bending at the waist. That is the only goal, and you're trying to do it for 2 minutes. Moving on, a recent update is putting a plank into this mobility day. So the goal here is to actually activate the abs. And when most people do planks, they sag at the waist, or even kind of like their like stomach area kind of sags down because their hips are not holding the correct position. So what I want you to do is kind of bring your hips up and back so that you're really contracting the core and abs. So you should have a little bit of rounding of the spine and hold that for 2 minutes. stop sagging and allowing your body to just not really be contracting the core. You want to be contracting the core and holding it as long as possible. So next up, we have the Superman exercise. We're going to be lying on the floor and trying to lift your hands and feet off the ground and hold it for 2 minutes. It is a lot harder than it looks, especially holding it for a 2 minute period. So go ahead and try and do it and see how long you can last. Again, take rests as needed. And the final mobility day for day number 6 is the deep squat. I like to use something to help with my balance, but the goal is over time to try and get the ankle mobility and positioning so that I don't need any kind of assistance at all. But right now, I cannot do that. I do have to hold on to something in order to complete this. And again, you're going to try and hold it for 2 minutes. Feel free to kind of move around a little bit, left, right, forward, back, even in circles. That way, you're just kind of getting the ankles a little bit of movement in this squat, deep squat movement pattern. All right, we are now on to day number 7. And then again, this is an optional mobility day, but here is what it looks like. First, we have neck flexion and extension. So you could use a bench or something like that, but you're simply going to be trying to flex the neck back and forward to try and get some more strength in your neck. If you have weights or something, you can weigh it down or even use the bands for. Feel free to add some resistance to this if you feel like your neck is strong enough to support it. Do not go crazy with this and add a lot of resistance to it, because if you do, you can quickly injure yourself. Make sure you take this nice and slow if you want to progress it. Next up, we have wrist flexion and extension. So trying to build more of the forearm strength. So you can use this with the bands and the bar. That's one way you could do it. If you have anything around the house that's bigger, you can as well. If you don't have anything, feel free to just do like wrist circles. Just again, try and get some movement in the wrists, as maybe they don't get the same amount of love and attention that you would otherwise. If you're someone who types all day, this could be nice to kind of get more like a circular motion in the wrists and get them movement or get them moving in a different direction. Maybe even prevent some carpal tunnel down the line if you start moving your hands, wrists, fingers around a little bit more instead of just typing all day. From there, we have arm circles. So you can just do some forward and backward arm circles as you wish. Sometimes I do like 5 forward, 5 backward, however you want to do it. Again, you're just doing it for 2 minutes. However, you would like to complete it for that 2 minute period. After that, we have the seated spinal twist. So you are going to be sitting on the ground and kind of doing what I like to call a pretzel. And then you're basically trying to get a rotation movement in here, as we don't have many of those. And every single time I do this, I tend to crack my back. It feels great in the movement, but you're trying to just get further and further around for that 2 minute period. I like to do 1 minute on one leg and then switch the next minute to face the other way to round out the whole 2 minute period. Now, the final exercise for day number 7 is the 90-90 hip switch. So for this, you are seated on the ground. You're just trying to keep your knees in a 90-degree position and go from right to left, back and forth, alternating each side for that 2 minute period. And that is it. That is the entire plan using my resistance bands. Again, I did a dumbbell and bodyweight one last week, so feel free to click on the link in the description to see that, or the card here as it's shown. But again, with that, that's the entire plan if you want to try my resistance bands build. As a reminder, all the equipment you've seen in this video is in the link in the description. If you're interested in any, feel free to use the links. GamerBody gets a commission as their affiliate links to help build this channel bigger and better into the future. And again, if you want to see more of my plan or more about me, more about my philosophy, all that kind of stuff, feel free to head over to GamerBody.com, as I have a template you can download and use for free over there, as well as get to know more about me and the equipment I'm currently using, as I do update that as things change. But the equipment I'm currently using is listed there as well.